Let's talk about millionaires. What if everything you think you know about them, from the movies, from social media, what if it's all completely wrong? Well, a pretty famous study uncovered some secrets that might just change the way you think about wealth forever.
Seriously, just for a second, what's the very first image that pops into your head? Is it a fancy car, a huge mansion? Just hold that thought for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet it's something along these lines, right? We've all seen it, the high-flying, big-spending lifestyle. It's an incredibly powerful image and honestly, a very profitable one that's been carefully crafted to shape what we want.
But here's the thing. What if that flashy image is just the tip of the iceberg? The authors of The Millionaire Next Door found that what we actually see, the cars, the watches, that's often just a sign of high income. The real wealth, the huge, stable part of the iceberg, is almost always hidden right below the surface, built on things we never ever see.
Okay, so first things first, we have got to tackle that image head on. So welcome to section 1, the millionaire myth. It is time to bust that Hollywood stereotype wide open. The source material just puts it perfectly. Hollywood and advertisers have done an incredible job of getting us to believe that being wealthy and spending a ton of money are basically the same thing. And this creates this powerful illusion that looking rich is the same as being rich. As we're about to find out, they are worlds apart.
Which brings us right to section 2, and this brilliant old Texan saying that just perfectly captures the whole situation. Big hat, no cattle.
So, what does that even mean? Well, the expression is for someone who looks really impressive on the outside. They've got the big fancy hat, but they don't have any real substance. They don't actually own the cattle. In financial terms, this is the person with the six-figure car and the designer watch, but their net worth is tiny. They're playing a part, but they don't have the wealth to back it up. And this chart just lays out the difference perfectly. Over here on the left, you've got the person who looks wealthy. High income, sure, but also high spending, which leads to low actual wealth. But then on the right, you have the person who is wealthy. Their income might even be more modest, but their frugal lifestyle lets them build up real wealth. This is the key difference. The person on the left is playing the income game. The person on the right is playing the wealth game.
So get this. The book tells this amazing story about a focus group they held for millionaires. We're talking people worth over $10 million. So they lay out all this fancy wine and food. The very first guy who walks in, worth tens of millions, gets offered a vintage Bordeaux, and he gives this classic response. He wasn't trying to be funny. He was just being himself. Frugal. That is the real millionaire mindset. And that frugal mindset, well, it's everything. So if real millionaires aren't these flashy spenders, how do they actually build their fortunes? That brings us to section 3. And the answer isn't about playing a great financial offense with risky moves. It's about playing an incredible financial defense. If there is one single number that just sums this whole thing up, it's this one. On average, millionaires invest nearly 20% of their income every single year. This isn't about hitting some big lottery jackpot. It's about a relentless, disciplined habit of saving and investing year in and year out. Their playbook? It's not super complicated, but wow, does it require discipline. They live by a detailed budget. They know exactly where their money is going. The book even points out that their spouses are often even more frugal than they are. They build what they call a go-to-hell fund, enough money to live for 10 years or more without needing a job. And most importantly, they spend their time planning their finances, not just trying to earn more money to spend.
Is that mental image of a millionaire you had at the beginning totally shattered yet? Well, if not, check this out. The research found that half of the millionaires they studied had never spent more than about $400 on a suit or a couple hundred on a watch. They just don't care about status symbols. They care about financial independence.
All right, now for a really fascinating twist. Section 4 is all about a hidden trap that can actually stop people from building wealth, and it usually comes from a place of love and really good intentions. The authors came up with this brilliant term for it: economic outpatient care. It's such a powerful metaphor, right? It's for the regular financial help that a lot of well-off parents give their adult children, thinking they're just giving them a leg up. So what exactly is EOC? Well, it's pretty much any big financial gift to adult children. And the problem isn't the gift itself. The problem is the effect it has. It ends up subsidizing a lifestyle the kids can't actually afford on their own, which just encourages them to spend more and build less financial discipline. And you might be surprised how widespread this is among the wealthy. It comes in all sorts of forms, from just straight up cash gifts to what they call forgiveness loans. Money that's given with absolutely no real expectation it'll ever be paid back. All of it works together to create this kind of artificial financial bubble for the children.
And here is the real danger. Instead of teaching their kids how to build wealth for themselves, these parents are accidentally teaching them how to spend it. They're creating a cycle of dependency that is the total opposite of the frugal, disciplined mindset that built their own fortunes in the first place.
Okay, let's bring all of this home in our final section, the real meaning of wealth, and what the ultimate takeaway is from all this incredible research.
If you remember just one thing from this whole explainer, please make it this. High income does not equal wealth. Wealth is what you accumulate, not what you spend. And it's built on a foundation of discipline, not designer labels.
And you know what's really amazing? The millionaires in the study pretty much all said the same thing, that the process of building their fortune, the planning, the saving, the work, was actually more satisfying than just having the money. It's about the accomplishment, not just the account balance. Which leaves all of us with a final question. In your own life, which game are you playing? The high-stress, high-consumption income game, or the patient, disciplined wealth game? The choice isn't just about money. It's about what you truly value, looking wealthy or being free.